Okay. Sorry, I was gonna. I was gonna say that takes us into the concept of like managing a project like this, where it went from a very niche thing that you were doing for yourself, and now you actually have to care what other people are doing with it.
Oh yeah.
So,
I
how
am
do you go?
trying
Yeah, how
very
do you
hard
go
to
about
not break
doing
people.
that?
Um, it is a combination of testing, having victims being willing to run slightly less stable things in exchange
Vict-
for like giving feedback for when things break.
Victims is a
And
wild
victim
term to
is the
use.
technical term
Aha, is it?
of, and like the GNOME sysadmin team, oh my gosh, they have been so useful in terms of like fine tuning things,
Mm-hmm.
like figuring out what the right difficulty value for this really hacky challenge is.
Mm-hmm.
They run the Git main version of Anubis,
Mm-hmm.
and anytime they run into even like a slight bump,
Mm-hmm.
either I find out because I read the GNOME discourse and their infra GitLab repo,
Mm-hmm.
or they just tell me, and I either like inform them that something is wrong, or like we find an edge case and either fix it or add like not just documentation but a check in the code that says like, oh, if you're doing this incredibly specific thing that's known to cause weird issues, we will warn you, and if it's bad enough, we will actually kill the program before it loads so that it crash loops and is immediately noticeable to the administrator that something is wrong.
Mm.
I I used to work in site reliability, or basically a sysadmin that can code, and one of the things that I learned is that it is a lot better to have things fail loudly and as violently as possible, because that gets them fixed.
Right. Right.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make it break where they're gonna see it, not make it break in production
Yeah.
after it hits some sort of weird interaction.
Yes. And ideally, you want to actually break it before the program starts,
Mm-hmm.
because then it doesn't work and people are much more likely to notice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If it just
But
like
in terms of
silently runs
managing
in
a
the
project,
background, you're just gonna miss it.
yeah. In terms of managing a project, though, I've hit the point where I'm getting pull requests from people, and they're like actually good,
Mm-hmm.
which, from what I'm told by the CEO of a place that I used to work at, is a huge bar, and it means that you're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh my goodness, I'm at like 40 contributors now, or 38 or 37 external contributors,
Mm-hmm.
and like, it is it is an absolute gift to be able to be in this position. It's just, you have interesting problems, like the packaging thing, like that manifesto. About half the reason why I have my own building tool and why things aren't using the normal distro standard ways to do it is because I wish I had the time to learn how package builds, how whatever RPM uses, the Debian control files, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I wish I had time to learn how all that works. I don't. I just do not.
Right.
So I'd rather have something as an option for people whose distros don't ship it, like CentOS doesn't ship it, like
Mm-hmm.
Fedora doesn't ship it. Like, they have an option to get something working, and I I am glad that there is like a unstuck me button.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I only shipped a Docker image, and that turned out to cause some issues in weird ways because people were complaining about. I think one person on Mastodon was complaining about, quote, oh, there, I found it. Web shit encroaching into my server admin. It's, like, fair enough, but dude. And then I linked them that manifesto. It's like, oh, wait, you actually do care?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes. Why do you think I've written the manifesto?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I was just having a
I
look at
just,
the packages available. I didn't realize it was officially in the Arch repos now. That's cool.
oh yeah, that was one of the dependencies that they had in order to get it shipped to the Arch stuff, because they only run stuff that's built by the Arch, built in the Arch Linux repos.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, fair enough. At their level, I expect them to not trust my binary packages.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's security software and they want to build it from source.
Mm-hmm.
I will not stop them. I actually help them. I worked with, I think it was Foxboron, to make the packaging process a bit easier for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enabled downstream packaging. I helped one of the FreeBSD devs with packaging Anubis for FreeBSD.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're out of date. I need to poke that guy. But like, to get at the point where I have a page on is so weird. I've never had that happen before.
So you cut out for like half a second there when you said a word.
To get to the point where I have a page on Repology, which is a website that crawls all the package manager repos for every distribution and shows you like which versions are out of date. To get to the point where I have a page there is just wild. And every so often, I just learn about new distros, like Alt Linux. I think it's mostly used in like Russia and like Russian adjacent places. They have it packaged for their rolling release named Sisyphus. That's an incredible name for a rolling release distro.
Looking at the Wikipedia page, it is a RPM-based system from Russia.
Yeah.
It's RPM-based, but it's just using RPM, but not actually... Okay, sure. Wait, what? Hold on, I need to look into this. I need to look into this project at some point as well now. I'm so confused by this thing. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like, just as a result of this, like, even just like looking at the Repology page, you learn lots of interesting, weird things about how people do stuff. Like, there's just so many interesting things to look at here. It's really great. It is a unique, and I am blessed to be in the position, and it has allowed me to get into some really interesting places. Like, I spent Easter weekend off and on between Final Fantasy XIV duties, chatting with the admin of like sourceware.org, teaching him how containers work. And seeing his reactions to, like, this person who is like running stuff based on like Apache and CGI, the reaction to how like the modern world works, and some of the abject horror that happens as a result. Yeah, it is a very interesting position to be in. It's gotten me into all sorts of fun, interesting back rooms. I believe I'm in the like infra back rooms for Arch Linux, Gentoo. I think I'm about to get in the back room for Haiku.
That's cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it is so cool. It is a very, very interesting position to be in. And it's also kind of terrifying because I know that I am a single person. I am working a full-time job. This is something I'm doing on like nights and weekends. I want to be able to make sure that this will survive me burning out.
Right.
And figuring out how to do that is hard.
Yeah, this is a problem that a lot of really, frankly, every project runs into. Things are usually started by a single person, maybe a group of friends, but usually a single person. And what ends up happening is 10 years down the line, they're still the largest contributor. Or you want to even go further than that, look at like Curl. Daniel Stenberg started the project. He is still the major contributor. Yes, he's does a lot more management now, but even after all this time, he's still a major contributor on the project. People like that who can keep doing something for that long, like, I have a lot of respect for, but I totally understand wanting to put it in a situation where, even if it's just like, dealing with bus factor stuff, where the project can live on even if you're not able to work on it.
Yes, that is the goal. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm going to get there. It's just a matter of time. It is within Keikaku. Translator's note, Keikaku means plan.
Shut up.
Like when I give talks, I warn the organizers that it's basically going to be nerd stand-up comedy, and they have this reaction like you can't be serious, and then they watch the talk, and I'll see one of the organizers in the back dying after I made an SRE joke, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it is stand-up comedy for nerds."
So I want to talk a bit about like supporting the project, because obviously there's the idea of like financially supporting it, but what do you like? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that you need done. Like, obviously, there's the rewrite of the website and the documentation, and then development help. Like, from your perspective, what do you think? What do you think needs the most help right now, or is it just financial support that would be the best thing?
It's a combination of financial support, and if you have problems or have made workarounds for individual apps, please just put them somewhere in the issue tracker or discussions, because like that allows me to come in and be able to write documentation. There was this link I got over Mastodon today about somebody who set up a targeted CGIT approach for Anubis, where it was like specifically targeted to only the expensive routes that CGIT uses. And like, yeah, I want to document that. I want to have that in the documentation. I want to like have that as a cookie cutter example that you could just like say, here, give me protection for this thing, and make it easier that way. But financial support is good because, you know, as we know, money does buy goods and services, including things like food and rent.
Yeah, those are always pretty important to deal with.
Yeah. What is my Patron at now?
Sorry.
It's Patreon. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I've never heard anyone say it like that.